Alright guys, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. Going to be going over the core plays for the slate. We're going to break it down game by game for you. Let's start off here with the first game of the night. That's going to be the Nets versus the Nuggets. Now, I do think Jamal Murray, it's kind of depending on news. If Jamal Murray's out, I do think we can go back to a well with MONTE and Morris. If he's in, you kind of just got to scratch that. We're kind of waiting on news for Paul Millsap as well. If he's out, obviously that changes the slate once again. We could go with someone like Trey Lyles, who actually played a lot of minutes in the absence of Paul Millsap, so that's kind of a wait and see. But the obvious lock play here is going to be Mason Plumlee. Even if Mason Plumlee doesn't, or even if Paul Millsap plays, Mason Plumlee is still going to see some run. So I do think that Mason Plumlee is going to be a solid option for us. Either way, we see what he did in the last game, went for 40 DK points. Now, obviously, he's not going to go for that much, but he should at least go for 25 DK points tonight. He does have that upside to, just go off and dominate. So it really just depends on the news breaking. I really do like Nikola Jokic, though, tonight. Jokic should go off and dominate tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, he had a bad game in his last game, which was kind of surprising, but honestly, he should be able to dominate tonight. I'm not too worried about it. It's a soft matchup. He should at least get 60 DK points for us tonight. Then after that, on the Brooklyn side of it, you could go with D'Angelo Russell if you want. If you think that this game is going to be close, you can. But now with Allen Crabbe back, I kind of need to see what the usage is going to be like, what the minutes are going to be like for the rest of the players. I was rolling with Shabazz Napier a lot, but we can't do that anymore. I do want to play one of the bigs, though, because Denver does play two bigs, but I just can't do that right now. All right, let's get into the next game here. Chicago versus the Pelicans. So I do like Drew Holiday again. He is priced up a little bit, but I do think he's going to get at least 48 TK points. He's right at that 9K mark where I don't want to exactly pay, but it's kind of just trying to figure out what we want to do with that. Jahlil Okafor really depends on the Julius Randle news, if he's going to have the minutes restriction or not. That's news dependent. I do like Williams again. The minutes should be for him. He should get at least 30 minutes, which would mean he gets 32 DK points, so he's not going to be a horrible option for us tonight. Tim Frazier, I do think he's going to bounce back, but I don't like that his salary went up over 4K. So there's other options I'd rather pay for at that salary than go with him. The only way I'd play him is if I'm doing a game stack. So maybe if you want to roll with him, you can. For the Chicago side of the ball, there's only two plays I really like. Bobby Portis, just because the Pelicans do like to play big. I do think he'll get to that 30-minute mark once again. It makes for a great tournament option. He just went off in the last game for 49 DK points. We never know what the minutes are going to be like exactly with him, so when we can try to predict them, that's what I want to go with. Lauri Markkanen is going to be an okay option as well. Throughout the last four slates, he's went for over 40 DK points, and once again, the Pelicans do like to play two bigs, so maybe that gives Markkanen, that 30-minute mark as well as Bobby Portis, so not too bad. The Washington side of the ball, they did just get blown out by the Bucks recently. The game before that, it was a little bit better game. Jordan McRae, he's going to be an okay option. You see he's had value 3 out of the last 4 slates, but he didn't against the Bucks, so he could be an interesting value option. I do like Bradley Beal. He didn't do that well against the Bucks the last time that they played, but the time before that, he went for 57 DK points. So it's just a matter of, what Bradley Beal are we going to get tonight. I do think he's going to be, a 45 DK play for us tonight. It's just a matter of you want to pay up for that or not. I do like Otto Porter just because it seems like he's going to be playing no matter what. The last game was a blowout against the Bucks, but he still was able to get 38 DK points. Another lower owned option that I like is going to be Jeff Green. He's kind of that big man that we like to target against the Bucks. He has been playing well recently, averaging 37 DK points in his last 3 games, so he's going to be a decent option for us today on this slate. I do like Giannis Antetokounmpo. It is kind of easy to fit both Giannis and James Harden into the same build. If you want to do a stars and scrub approach, that's not too bad. He has done pretty well against the Wizards, averaging over 50 DK points per game. Now, at that salary, that's not the best. I do think DJ Wilson's minutes are something to monitor here. So far this year, when he's gotten the minutes, he has been able to produce. So he's going to continue to get those minutes. That's something we want to watch and see as the season goes on. The only other real option I like on the Bucks is going to be Eric Bledsoe. He's been a pretty nice tournament option when the matchups have favored him. This should be a decent matchup for him. He could go for 40 DK points tonight. I'm mostly not going to be playing that. The only player on the Bucks that I really like is going to be Giannis. Now, Luka here, I hate that his salary went up. DK and both FanDuel did a great job on this. He's been dominating, though, without Dennis Smith Jr., averaging over 50 DK points per game. So I don't know if his salaries went up enough, actually. He should be able to get to that mark again. I really don't mind playing him, especially against the Hornets. They do struggle against players just like Luka, so not a horrible option. Tim Hardaway Jr. is really the only other Mavs player that I like. It's just a matter if he's going to get the minutes. You see there he's been averaging 30 DK points per game this season. So if he's going to get the minutes, I do think he'll hit value. And he could really go off. I do think Matchley Kleber is going to be a decent option for us tonight. He has been getting the minutes recently. You saw he went for 30 and 19 DK points in his last 2 games. With him, that's just more of a game stacking option. This could be a really nice game that does stay close. Malik Monk's going to be an okay value option for us tonight. Now, Tony Parker was ruled out, and so I do see Malik Monk getting some extra run here. He could get, 25 DK points tonight. That's not too much to ask for. Kemba Walker is a really solid play. He's had 2 really easy matchups in a row, and he's been able to go for 60 DK points. Now he gets the Dallas Mavericks, who's another really easy matchup. He should be able to go off again today, so I'm projecting around 45 DK points for him, but if we can continue to ride the hot hand with him and he could get 60 DK points, I really won't mind that. Now, the way I'm breaking down this slate is I want to get 2 Phoenix Suns in my lineups because Devin Booker's ruled out. And then there's another game that I want to get at least 3 players of. Now, with the Suns, it's interesting. They just traded for Tyler Johnson. That could either mean that Elliot Kubo is going to get a ton of run tonight, and they're going to limit him as the season goes on, or they're going to mix it in between Okobo and Crawford, the point guard minutes. So it's just kind of, I want to get one of those guys into, I'm going to probably make 10 lineups tonight. I want to get Elliot Kubo and Jamal Crawford, and at least 2 of them. I do think Kelly Oubre Jr. is going to be a decent option. He's been playing well recently. He should see a usage bump with Devin Booker off the court. But the player that sees the biggest usage bump is Josh Jackson. I do think he's going to be a lock for 30 DK points tonight. Whether or not the game stays close, that doesn't really matter. The guy that sees the biggest DK boost, however, is Andre Ayton. He averages 1.3 DK points per game with Devin Booker off the court. So I don't really mind him. Gobert hasn't actually been that good of a defender DK-wise against center, so he could definitely go off in this slate. He could go for 40 DK points and be a solid option for us tonight. Jay Crowder, it's just more of a, we see his recent minutes going up there. If he's going to get those minutes again, he will produce that amount. Probably could go for 30 DK points in this matchup. So he's not going to be a horrible option for us either. Now let's get into the Houston side of the ball against the Kings. I really like James Harden tonight. Like I said, you can stack Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo together, but I really like stacking James Harden and Chris Paul together. If Harden doesn't get there, you can stack him with Chris Paul. That kind of gives you a little safety there, especially on this slate. I also really like rolling with KENNETH. FARIED. I'm going to keep rolling with him. This is an easy matchup as well. He should be able to dominate and produce tonight. So those 3, I could really see myself just putting those 3 into a nice solid build for me. And then just starting from there, trying to fill in the Sun players that I want and also the Spurs players that I'll touch on in a little bit. Now, Bagley here, he's been dominating recently. It's kind of just something that I don't think we can ignore. It should be a high total game, and so Bagley should be able to go off and produce for us tonight. So I do have Bagley projected around 30 DK points tonight. If the game, however, does blow out, I do expect Henry Giles to get some extra minutes. Now, I've actually done pretty well at projecting when he does well. I've hit on him each of the 2 games where he's went off. So, he's just not a horrible option. If he does get the minutes, he'll be a DK point per minute type of play tonight. Then the last game. Now, there's not that many Golden State Warriors that I like. Ever since DeMarcus Cousins has taken over or has returned, it kind of has meant that the other players don't get much value. But the player that still has value is Kevon Looney. Even if the game blows out, he should still get the minutes. So I think Looney's going to get there no matter what. He's one of my favorite, 4K and below options. I also really don't mind Andre Iguodala here. He's not a horrible play tonight as well. He should get there. He's a decent value option for us tonight. But on the San Antonio side of the ball, you obviously have the 2 point guards that should at least get 25 DK points tonight with DeMar and LMA out. So I really don't mind Forbes. I don't mind Mills. Those guys should both go for 5 DK points. Like I said in the last slide, I do think Mills does hold the most GPP value upside. But I also really like Marco Bellinelli. He should see the biggest usage boost with both DeMar and LMA out. He should be a solid 25 DK play. I do have him going for 30 DK points tonight, so I do really like him. I do worry about Rudy Gay in this game because I do think he could blow out. But if this game does stay close, Rudy Gay should go off and just dominate. He should at least go for 40 DK points tonight if that game does stay close. So he's going to be a solid option for me. But the play that I like the most is going to be Davis Bertans. Bertans, when he gets the minutes, he really does produce, and the minutes are going to be there for him tonight. So Bertans should really just go off and dominate tonight. He is one of my favorite options on this slate, so I'm going to be putting in a lot of builds with him in there. Now let's go and make the builds. So obviously I like Rudy Gay. I'm just going to project that that game stays close. Then we go with Josh Jackson here because I do like him the most out of all the Suns. Then we're going to roll with DeAndre Ayton, and then I'm just going to manipulate the lineup, see how it can go. I will get Bertans into this lineup. It just depends on how the news breaks the rest of the day. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed watching.